His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism will continue to stay on. And these are things I have to stand for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. A bad person, George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
My money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh, I just like me, oh, I can't get out, I can't get out, oh, international community comes over here, oh, La Biro, oh, my people, I got La Biro who want it, oh, I got La Biro who want it, oh, I got La Biro who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh, you say you can rescue us, oh, I drown you, oh, rescue team, oh, you say you can rescue us, oh, I drown you, oh, and people talk about property, oh, for just asking you, oh. Which one, oh, my money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh, I just like me, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh, international community comes over here, oh, La Biro, oh, my people, I got La Biro who want it, oh, I got La Biro who want it, oh, I got La Biro who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh, you say you can rescue us, oh, I drown you, oh, rescue team, oh, you say you can rescue us, oh, I drown you, oh, and people talk about property, oh, for just asking you, oh. Which one, oh.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Welcome to Real Talk, Kings 88.5, on this 4th day of January 2000, the creator and sustainer of the universe, that he has allowed us to see this day and to do what is right in his sight, getting better his society. Thank you too for coming on. Before we go further, let me put you on the alert. This is not wrong, just so you know, and if it happens, you don't go off, because we will come back. It is very expensive to run a radio station on generator. It is the fuel, very expensive. So almost all of the radio stations, down to state radio, they are managing. Can you imagine? We are by far better. State radio in the evening, they are off. They go off completely. It's not easy. Then imagine we on the other side. So when you just see us off the screen on your radio, you have food, just know that LEC gone. But don't go off. Don't go off. Keep your radio grounding. Keep your screen on. We'll get back on the air, just so you know. So it's good that I thought to keep you alert. It's good to keep people alert so that when it happens, it would not be a surprise. Because we are managing. We are managing. You know the country right now, everywhere. Some of you, you didn't sleep with Corey. So Corey gone in your area already. You're just managing on your phone from just everywhere you are following, and we appreciate it. So just so you know, because we brace ourselves, and that's what you do in life. It will not bother you. Just brace yourself. We brace ourselves for it. When you can live this way, nothing in life will give you a hard time, because you will find solution. Just brace yourself. It's not to say that you are skeptical, you are faithless, you are cynical. No, it simply means that you are discerning of the future, you are discerning of the time, and you brace yourself for whatever. You have a contingency plan in place just in case it happens. That's what
it is in life. If you can use that formula, you'll never encounter problem. So I'm sitting now talking. If it goes up, bam, it will not be a surprise because we brace ourselves. Everybody, can you imagine? I copy all the air. The guys in the they say, just go, just go. Anytime our bed can go and say, yeah. So no, we have alternative. This is an institution. This is Kings FM. We have a contingency plan or plan B. But I just want to let you know so you can, when they go, when LEC goes, the generator, it's called a standby. Don't go off. Don't cut your radio off. Leave your online on just like that. Don't cut it off. We'll come back in less than no time. Yeah. If they don't go, fine. But we just know that they can go anytime because it has become the normal. All right. Thank you all for coming on. Emmanuel Bro from Minnesota, USA. Gamonted McIntosh, Old Rogate Town. Morris Gray, ELW, a rehab community. Says Lou Blackmore, you are on. I stopped seeing you for a while, but it's good to see you, says Lou Blackmore. James B. Foley, you are on from what? Kimpeterstown? Is that Logan Town? James Carpenter, Harper City, Maryland County. Silver, Washington. Broadway City. Paris Lobart, New Jersey, USA. Boacat Zodua, Macklin Street, Waterside. Sunday, Woodward, Atlanta, Georgia. That's Saturday. Stephen Yakade, Magibi County, Samuel Banquire. All right. That's District 17. Hope I pronounce your name well. District 17, Hotel Africa Road. Mansari Abdullah, JJY Community. Philip Nangbe, Dallas, Texas. Joseph Beltran. You're British, man? Reminds me of the philosopher Bertrand Russell. Good to have you on. All right, I will do. Okay. All right. Jacqueline Washington. Yes, Jacqueline. And you doubted me? You doubted me? I told you we were going to beat them, and we did. They lucky. You know, the fatigue play on my guys, but that game should have ended about 10 to 15 last night. Never. Nobody should underestimate Barcelona. We on Saturday again at 3:15. Another victory pending. Kwagwe Wido, Mangibi County. Jeff Comonte, Nuclear Town. District 16, Claude de Bois. Henry T. Toll, Caldwell. Residence, Claudie Addison, Delaware, USA. Vinicius Bar, Yans, Nuclear Town, Claude de Bois. David Givelove. Yes, William W. Wulo, spokesperson, Civil Rights Movement. Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, David Givelove, Mandra Market, Waterside, Samson Carey, Broadville, that's Batnersville Township. Badness, I mean, you don't call that place township. You're in Palace. You say the regime Speaker Palace, Richard Kun's Palace. You're in Palace. You're in district. Hey, my dear Jewish brother, Stephen Coker, good to see you. It's been a while, Stigo. But I hope that you are doing good. Thanks for coming on, Stigo. Yeah. Ezekiel Johnson, Rita Christine Hitz, Massachusetts, USA, Jumon Colley, Jukonti Chie, Orita Jikla, Osman Saw, Gale Street Business Center, Juan Mamalu, the same place, Gale Street Business Center. Great people. Let me bring on my dear sister, Orita Sunday Way Choir. Thank you for coming on. And I know that you are faring well. Good to have you on. Thank you. We are inspired by your presence. The chairman himself, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, Latupan, the one and only chairman for life, melting pot chairman, the reference chairman, the common chairman. Yeah. Block 13 Intellectual Center, the man who is using every innovation and creativity to get George Weah back to the presidency by what he can do, and not just saying Weah is coming back 2029, but acting upon the conviction that Weah is coming back 2029. Thank you ever so much, Mr. Romarico Kenneball or Latupan for short. Yata Dorsey, good. Thank you all for coming on. Let's get started. Time is of the essence. Again, don't forget, we're running on LEC, but we have a standby. We have to be manageable. It's not because we have standby now, we just burn. We got to manage. When LEC goes, we put our generator on. If they go, we then go. We have to manage. Almost all the radio stations in Liberia right now, the managing is not easy. Because LEC made it clear. They said they don't owe anybody constant electricity. When you get your generator, put it on. You, whatever, bintine, ego, LEC. It easy. The country is tense. On a serious note, the country is tense. The people in NTA community, they are crying. The people in 72nd crying. 4th and 5th Street crying. Watch it. In your community, please. It is a wave. It is a wave. Not easy. Let's get started with developments out of Liberia briefly, and then we talk what we have, and then that's it. Gunmen have killed at least 35 people in Kwara State in West Central Nigeria. A lawmaker said between 35 and 40 bodies were counted after the attack on Royal Village in Kama area. A Red Cross official told the BBC the death toll had risen to 67. The attack happened on Tuesday evening when bandits reportedly invaded the village and set shops in traditional ruler's palace on fire. Several people were also reported injured, with some fleeing into nearby butchers. The location of the village king remains unknown. Police and Kwara state government confirmed the attack, blaming what they described as terrorist elements. The United States has sent a military team to Nigeria as part of expanded cooperation against militant groups in West Africa. That's according to the U.S. Africa Command. It said the deployment followed discussions with Nigerian authorities on the need for closer coordination to address the terrorist threat in the region. The move comes weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump ordered airstrikes on suspected Islamic State-linked targets in Nigeria and said further United States military action could follow. Nigerian Defense Minister Christopher Musa said a U.S. team is working in the country, but did not give details about its sites or role. A Ugandan court has dismissed a case brought under the country's controversial Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023, a decision welcomed by human rights groups. The case involved a 25-year-old man who spent nearly a year in jail after being charged with the legislation which allows severe punishments, including life imprisonment for consensual same-sex relations and the death penalty for aggravated homosexuality. His lawyer said the court ruled that the accused was mentally unfit to stand trial. Uganda's anti-gay legislation has sparked strong international condemnations, including from the United Nations, and previously prompted the World Bank to suspend new funding to the country. And Ethiopia Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has accused neighboring Eritrea of carrying out mass killings during the 2020-2022 war in Tigray, at a time when the two countries were military allies. Speaking in parliament, Abiy said Eritrean forces were responsible for killings in the historic town of Oxum and accused them of looting and destroying factories, hospitals, and pharmaceuticals in other parts of Tigray, including Atwa and Adegra. The Tigray conflict is estimated to have killed at least 6,000 or more people. Although a peace deal was signed in 2022, tensions remain high, with fighting reported in parts of northern Ethiopia in recent days. Eritrea strongly rejected the accusations. The information minister described Abed's claim as cheap and despicable lies. That will be doing it for what is unfolding. So before we get to former President Sirleaf, what she had to say about former President George Weah, former current President Joseph Yema Boakai, herself, and other issues, let's turn to the trending. This is trending is equally important, but given the currency, we shift our attention. The government or landowners, but this one is the government. 72nd Barrett, the government seemed not to be giving into anything of a pressure or trying to make sense from any other situation to rescind their decision. Rather, they are moving with jet-like speed to evict everybody from there. One of those institutions and individuals affected badly, the CEO of Help Yourself Business Center. Have a listen to her.
I should live for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh, my money, oh. I should live for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh. I can't get out, oh. I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh. La Bira. Oh, my people, now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they talk about La Bira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can go rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can go rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. Farmer just asking you, oh. We try it, oh. My money, oh. I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh. I can't get out, oh. I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh. La Bira. Oh, my people, now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they talk about La Bira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can go rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can go rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. Farmer just asking you, oh. We try it, oh. My money, oh. I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh. I can't get out, oh. I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh. La Bira. Oh, my people, now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they talk about La Bira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you came to rescue us, oh. Adriani, oh. Adriani, oh. Adriani, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you came to rescue us, oh. Adriani, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. Farmer, just asking you, oh. Which one, oh? Money, oh. I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh. I can't get out, oh. I can't get out, oh. International community come to my ear, oh. Oh, Labira, oh. Labira. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Oh, my people, now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they got a Labira who want it, oh. Now they talk about Labira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you came to rescue us, oh. Adriani, oh. Adriani, oh. Adriani, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you came to rescue us, oh. Adriani, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. Farmer, just asking you, oh. Which one, oh?
The CEO of the business center, help yourself, CEO, and many other Liberians. Thousands of Liberians are grieving. It has now hit NTA community. A demolition has hit NTA community. That the people there, they are bracing themselves, but this time around, they apparently they're not going to take it for joke. No, I think they have been issued a rate to leave the place for a possible demolition. Yeah, a rate has been issued. The Civil Law Court, Montserrat County, presided over by Judge Peter Derio Beniwe, ruled in the marshal's favor. The judge ruled in the marshal's favor and issued a writ of possession ordering the sheriff or the deputy to evict Amos B. Yanator, Amos B. Yanator, Ms. M. Kone, and Lazo Kole, among others. The writ reads directing the authorities to place Marshall in complete and unrestricted possession of LPRC community land, using a licensed surveyor to follow her title deeds and bounds. The resident will complain that they received no prior notice before bulldozers arrived, leaving them no time to remove their belongings or to relocate. So that's it. They too are battling demolition. The spirit of demolition has hit the country. First, it was the spirit of fire. From the spirit of fire, it went to the spirit of accidents. From the spirit of accident, it has now come to the spirit of demolition. Terrible. Sorry, I'm not mortgaging, but I'm just telling you the heartless nature of the government. Just like Israel said this morning that land eyes moving now. You go anywhere, they ask you for your document, you can make full proof. Destruction. That's what's happening. So you be careful. You check your areas. You check your areas. Don't relax. If it hasn't reached you, well, that's good. But make sure you're in a right position because it is money that is playing now. Money. The people who have money, they will have the final say. Peasants, downtrodden, they considered you people, meaning you can't afford. Those who have the thousands and millions, everything will work in their favor. They will look at a place and tell the people, meaning the court and other people who will support them indirectly, when I say other people, you know who I'm referencing, that they need that place, and they will just advise them, come up with so and so thing. Something small will build on it. That's what is happening. So you be careful. You check if you get your land deed. If you know where you put your land deed, try to get it. Look for it. You know exactly what to do. I need not tell you all of the processes. What I'm telling you, and you need to be mindful of the political strength, the financial might. You don't have the political strength, you don't have the financial might. The people who have the financial might, automatically, they have the political strength. They can win anything against you. You don't have money. That's the wave this country has entered. You don't have money, forget it. Leave your own with God. They will destroy you. Whether you have place to sleep or not, it is none of their business. They must claim the land and do what they want to do on the land. Equally, we have to be very careful. Voices are sounding. The voice of wisdom is sounding from great men and women of this country who saw where this country came from, what led the country to go into such, some of the things that led the country to go into. One of them is land issue. Land. People grab people land here prior to the war because they felt they had the power. The same thing in Samuel Doe regime. What do you see? So in Samuel Doe regime, it was existing. This person will say this place for them. They will use their power. They will use their might. They will use their monetary strength, every other thing. People cry in those era. People grieve. That is why when the people heard of war, the country, ask yourself why almost everybody was open to the war. They just allowed the war to flow through. Nobody resisted it because people felt that they were hurt, they were dehumanized, people subjected them to inhumane condition. They forced them into all kinds of things that they did not have any right to because they did not have the money, they did not have the power, and they grieved for all of those years. And they saw 1990 as a time to revenge, and they did revenge. That's what led them to be moving from house to house. They were not hiding it. They were looking at people and saying, Anna, you took our land, and you took our house, and you did that, before the person can try to give some kind of excuse, a dead body, the bullets. We have to be careful. We're not praying for that, but what I'm telling you, people can keep things for years. People can keep grudge for years. when you think that you have succeeded, and when they just have an opportunity, they make use of it. We have to be careful. Money is good, but like God said, it is the root of evil. It is the root of evil. What you see on display so is what God meant when he said, money is the root of all evil. It's not only that it will sway your faith from him, but it will allow you to do because you think that you have it, so it becomes your strength, it becomes your shield, it becomes your protection, it becomes everything for you. So you will feel more than protected. You will feel that nobody can reach you, nobody can do anything to you because you have that protective shield called money. But money can do all. You'll be careful around here. We're not saying that the lands you're taking, they're not your land, but we're only advising you'll be careful. The African setting here, this place is not America, they're not China, it's not Italy, it's not Japan, it's not Germany. This is Africa. You'll be careful how you're taking people's land. Money can blindfold you of simple reasoning in life. Money makes you to feel that nobody can reach you. Why it is true that the country needs development, equally the country has to be very careful. Thank God the government said they ain't part of it. All these things that are going on, they say they ain't part of it except for the military barracks. So if the government is not behind those land grabs, the people who are doing it and using the courts to suppress, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. This is Africa. This is not Europe. This is not Europe. You got to be careful. Ha, yaka. People are grieving, oh. People are grieving. People are crying. When the human being grieves and can no longer grieve, they said to William be different, oh. Ha, yaka. They say hint to a wise is quite sufficient. You'll be running all around the place. Development, our land. Yeah. How can you claim to be the owner of the place? Between 40 and 50 years, you don't claim it. So what were you doing between 40 and 50 years? Only because Unity Party comes to power, you wake up one morning and you say that your land. You run to the court. The court say, yeah, that your land, take it. The court can give you your right, but the court has limitation. Go ask history. The court can give you the right that you want, the satisfaction that you want, but the court has limitation. A hint to a wise is quite sufficient.
Money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh,
so we can mock them. It is about human being. It would be foolhardy on the part of anybody to mock these people. Honestly, everybody wishes for a good future. Everybody supports their government for the government to do good, to maintain their life, to raise the standard of their living, to do a lot more. No one put on any doubt of their government. But the government can betray the people. The government can deceive the people. Listening to this woman, you can tell that she is a supporter of Unity Party, but she did not expect that her own party would treat her this way. She did not doubt the party. She felt that everything was going to be okay. Even if there is a problem, the government will be protective of her, or they will see reason. In this situation with the barracks, 13 days, too short of a time. But more to that, she said 500,000 United States dollars. Let's assume that she's exaggerating, but it is within thousand. So then she's right. The property value, the investment she made there, where she's going to start from. That's killing a person. Where's she going to start from? Where's she going to get the first dime? And you don't want to think about the human beings that she is responsible for catering to. Everything their life has come to a standstill.
Oh, my people, now they gotta love you. I want to. Now they gotta love you. I want to. Now they gotta love you. I want to. Oh, my people, now they gotta love you. I want to. Now they gotta love you. I want to. Oh, money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh, la bureau, oh, la bureau. Oh, my people, now they gotta la bureau, who want it, oh. Oh, money, oh, money. Oh, money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh, money. Oh, money, oh, money. Oh, money, oh, I just money. Oh, money, oh, I just money. Oh, money, oh, money. Oh, money, oh, I just money. Oh, money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh, la bureau, oh, la bureau. Oh, my people, now they gotta love you, who want it, oh. Now they gotta love you, who want it, oh. Now they gotta love you, who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. I tried you, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. I tried you, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. I tried you, oh. I tried you, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried you, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. We tried you, oh.
What is helping these Unity Party people, this government? We have little time to go to 2029. But listen, let them continue to do it into the latter part of this year, 2027. Already, you go up, you count, and Barker can turn this country into heaven. He will never, ever, never, ever win 2029. And it's good that he's subjecting these people to such inhumane conditions. No sympathy whatsoever, no remorse. When they finish, yeah, how these people are too dull. When they finish, nobody will press them. They will run to the Ministry of Information. The government hand is not in it. The government, who asks you whether government hand is in it? It is private. Nobody complains. Nobody accuses the government. But they will run and announce quick the government hand is not in it. It's a private thing. That tells you that they are aware. When you are not aware of something, no one accuses you. Why will you come on and say you are not there? That's what they call guilty conscience. They expose themselves every day into all of these things that are happening. They cannot say they are not aware, but that's what they would say. Let's get on to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She gave a rare interview on her program, a real discussion on her program that is moderated by the pastor, lawyer, and former information minister, Larry Cumna Bropley. In that interview she gave about several things, she spoke about road, about agriculture, about the 1.2 billion budget. She spoke about the Clark Hope Foundation. She talked about her relationship with the former president, George Weah, and the current president, Joseph Yeman Boakai. Let's focus on her appraisal of Clark Hope Foundation. She said, according her word for word, which you will hear herself, I was impressed with what I saw from the kids. The teachers are doing better. I hope it can be sustained. These are her words. I hope it can be sustained, referencing Clark Hope Foundation. I hope it can be sustained. We need many of this across the country. We need many of this across the country. That's what she said in that interview she gave. We need many of this across the country. Meaning, this institution called Clark Hope Foundation that I have seen for myself, we need many across the country. It will make a difference in generations, upcoming generations' life. On the subpoena, she said, I can't say anything to that. I can't say anything to that. Then she went on, the former first lady is doing well. The former first lady is doing well. Let's have a listen to that interview.
People tell me what they said. I think some of them were very pleased with our photos about me conversing with these kids. And these were young kids. We talk about young kids, 5-year-old to 10-year-old kids, speaking about science, speaking about infrastructure, sustainability. One of the facilities like that is going to be very difficult. And I'm quite sure that the president knows that it would be difficult. How she handles it, not my business to comment on. I hope it can be sustained. Like I said, very high scale. But it's a good thing, and I hope we can get more of this type of facility for orphanages, and for whatnot. And we can get it more. And my encouragement to her, which I said, is make sure every county, young kids from every county can be accommodated. So it's not that, and I think that the aiming toward that house too. So I think it's a good thing, and it's major investment, huge amount. And I don't let the 23,000 questions go unanswered. How can I see a facility and not ask how much? So it's a major thing. The teachers live there. It's too big. It's hard to do. We could not perhaps replicate it too much in any other place, unless we do find a way to do it.
You heard how she described it? Major investment. Major investment. And she said, I hope it can be sustained, meaning let it exist. And then she said, we need more of this in the counties. Somebody looking at such, they say, wow, but then this is in this county. We need it in other counties. What a greater difference it would make in the lives of the children coming up. And just do a simple analysis of that. Look at that demographic. Take it at 5, at 7, at 8, at 9, at 10. So take them with such a unique quality education they are receiving. Between the next 5 and 10 years, that generation will change the dynamics of Liberia. You heard the former president say she is surprised to hear children of their level talking about infrastructure, sustainability, all the kind of funny, those things that BB people too don't even know good. If children at that level can talk those kinds of things, Ellie listening to them, say nobody people here, the woman that extra education she giving the people, that whole foundation that Europe in Liberia. Europe in Liberia. Just listening to those children talk. They say, but I think that Liberian kids here. I think that foreign. Then she went on to talk about her relationship. She was asked about her relationship with former President George Weah and the current president, Joseph Boakai. Listen carefully. There's something she said, which we always highlighted. The person who is at the helm has the responsibility. The responsibility doesn't fall on your lap when you are not at the helm. The responsibility shifts to you when you are in charge. The president is the melting pot. The president is the chief reconciler. The president is just everything to keep the country together, to keep leaders together. The president is just not president for development. In fact, the bedrock for development is peace and unity amongst yourselves, within yourselves, of yourselves. She said that she maintains a good relation with former President George Weah and the current president, Joseph Boakai, that they will continue to be in communication. She said they will continue to be in communication. And she does not call them to interfere or questions their decision. She says she does not do that. It is not within her purview. She served and she's off. Whatever decision former President George Weah took when he was president, that was good for the country, he's off. Whatever decision he takes from an opposition perspective or a former president, fine. Whatever the current president, Joseph Boakai, takes, fine. Whatever decision he finds not necessary to embark upon, fine. That is up to them. But she does not interfere with any decision they take. It is not for her, but they maintain, or she maintains, a good relationship with the two gentlemen. She said what she wants to see, it is not happening, and it ought to happen, all former presidents together. And then she said the responsibility lies with the current president, Joseph Boakai.
I have been in communication and continue to be in communication with President Boakai, and I've always been in communication with President Weah. I do not call them to question the decision making. I don't think that's what I would like to see, which has not happened. Maybe we'll get it happen at one of these days when President Boakai himself is ready. He will call the two former president and he will say what he thinks. We may want to just make a suggestion, give an idea, make a comment. That's as far as I want to go. Mm-hmm. I want to stay in touch with them.
Exactly. So the responsibility is with President Boakai. Mr. President has to move. If Mr. President is serious, you can run a country divided or leaving out a vast portion of the country. One of the reasons a president, the sitting president, or when a person is elected and then forges reconciliation and inclusion because every person who participated in that election has a constituency. The constituency may not be the same magnitude or strength, but every person who participated in that election has a base or a constituency. To understand this good, second round, that's why the two persons in the second round will look at, they will not just call anybody or all the other parties that did not reach the benchmark, but they will look at those political parties with numerical strength and ask them to come over. That is why at the close of the election, whoever wins forges reconciliation, unity, government of inclusion. In this context, former President George Weah has a strong, wider base or constituency. President Bouakai cannot run this country leaving vast majority of the population unattended to. And that vast majority living with a discontent or a disconnect from Joseph Yema Bouakai, he can be successful in everything he does. Go to the National Elections Commission and ask for the stats. Ask for CDC stats, former President George Weah stats, meaning the number. And ask yourself, what's the possibility of the current president running the country on a divided level? You can initiate development. You can grade road. You can rehabilitate road. You can build road. You can talk about overhead paths, overhead bridge. You can do all of those things. You can talk about constructing a ministerial complex or the justice ministry complex. But how empty is that when the country is still divided? It doesn't help. Former President Salif just added what we've already said, that it is unto the former president, I mean, not the former president, but the current president, to move.
I have been in communication and continue to be in communication with President Bouakai, and I've always been in communication with President Weah. I do not call them to question the decision they made. I don't think that's what I would like to see, which has not happened. Maybe we'll get it happen at one of these days. When President Bouakai himself is ready, he will call the true former president and he will say,
did you get her, Claire? She said, when President Bouakai is ready. That is a statement or a confirmation that this man isn't ready. It ought to be, and there's no better time to do it than now, but he is not ready. It also tells you of the person unreadiness, unwillingness to do, though it is right to do now, because there is no better time than now.
What I would like to see, which has not happened, maybe we'll get it happen at one of these days. When President Bouakai himself is ready, he will call the true former president and he will say what he thinks, at one of these days. When President Bouakai himself is ready, he will call the true former president and he will say at one of these days. When President Bouakai himself is ready, he will call the true former president and he will say what he thinks. You may want to just make a suggestion, give an idea, make a comment. That's as far as I want to go. Mm-hmm. I want to stay in touch with them.
All right. That's former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Front Page Africa is reporting, I think this worth sharing with you. It's bad, gruesome murder, but it arises as I follow the event from anger. And anger leads to something very dangerous. Anger is destructive. I saw this and I thought to bring it to you to help you drop anger if you have it. Anger isn't bad, but anger is wrongly used in our culture. There is this word that most people use to inflict pains on people. Women, men, they do that. They call it jealousy. You will hear the woman out of anger abusing the man, saying all manner of things against his person, threatening, to the extent that she goes destroying things in the place. You will see the man insulting the woman, saying all manner of things, and then beating on the woman, all in the name, what they can say, jealousy. But that is not jealousy. Anything that leads you to going to jail, sending another person to hospital, or even affecting your very self, it's not jealousy, it's stupidity, it's irrational thinking. Jealousy that people use to justify the wrong is not what it is by definition and application. This situation before us evolves from what they call jealousy. 26-year-old Rachel Cotto, allegedly beaten to death by her boyfriend. Her sister, Angeline Cotto, said she wasn't around. And the event occurred, according to the report, between 10 and 11 p.m. Her son, her little son, was there. He saw everything that the mother was beaten badly to the extent that it ended her life. The boyfriend is identified as Edwin Mulba. Now, that man, what do you think that man will tell you right now? He will say, oh, the anger, that the devil, and all kinds of stuff. Pathetic. Anger doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help. Anger is the offspring, or jailing, hurt, death, the offspring of anger. Anger is destructive when it is not properly thought out. When you put emotion into almost everything, it leads you to saying things or doing something that you will regret. There is no wrong in getting angry, but let not your anger be about yourself. If your anger is against what is being inflicted against another person, then that is irrational anger. People use their anger to save people. They use their anger to save situation. They use their anger against the wrong that they see. You drop that thing. called jealousy. The same way people nurse their anger, they rehearse their anger, they converse their anger. The same they do with jealousy. Just as a person will converse his anger or converse about his anger. Like this. Me, I quit to get vessel. Me, my versation I right here. Me, when I get vessel, nobody can stop me. The conversing about the anger. The same way, you hear the lady, the man, say, me, a jealous person, oh. Me, handle nobody, as if you're saying something good. I cannot tell you how many persons in South Beach from that thing they call jealousy. How many persons in emergency ward, in hospitals, clinics, with different conditions, quote unquote, jealousy. So they win. Now, nothing. If you look at the police investigation, or if you are opportune to be around and hear the investigation, it's nothing but quote unquote jealousy. Or so he took the people's daughter's life. Now he's feeling sorry for himself and regretting the situation and lying all over the place. But they let it go. That's what anger does. This culture is filled with too much anger, hate. People quick to react, quick to say. And the people too who should be happy. Amen. Our sympathy and condolences to the family. You know what the parents are going through right now is it's not easy. Young lady, 26 years old, so much future was ahead of her. That man caught the lady's future. Now, if we have a capital punishment in our country, that man would not want to be killed. The Edwin man, he would not want to be killed. Nobody wants to die, but they use anger to kill another person. That man are in police custody and say, you killed the lady, we're going to kill you. See how he will be crying like nobody business, begging because he doesn't want to lose his life. But he took the life of another person. All right. That's it. Those are what we've got to share with you. Let's read some of your comments, and then you can have your say, and then we are out. Amara Jala Kamara, right? Bwaka would never take former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's statements into consideration because of his vindictiveness. Cecilia Yakbawlo, Bwaka really hurting people in that country, oh God. Tobasi, right? Negative consequences. Joe Bwaka, if you set bad precedents like this, every administration that comes after you will follow them. So, Omen Joe Bwaka, what you are doing to President Weah and others will be done to you tomorrow. Remember, the precedents you set will come after you. Nice one, Tobasi. Matthew Choloplay says, President Weah told Liberians before the 2023 elections, don't give these Unity Party people power because they don't care about the poor Liberian people. Never listen. So they will cry tired for 6 years. James Weah said, remember what you sow is what you will reap. Emmanuel Bro, Not only JMB alone, but a lot of those government officials who are close to him also risk not being re-elected to their various positions in 2029. Jeremiah Labla again, it's good for JMB and JKK. All right. Paris Lobot, Bukhari declares demolition war on Liberians. This is another way Bukhari killing citizens through land eviction. Always call it a verb Bukhari. Paris Lobot, why you all call it a verb Bukhari? The man is Bwaka. You know the man name, man? The man Bwaka. Emmanuel, bro, it is unfortunately heartbreaking to see some Liberians crying over the demolition of their homes. I blame Dillon, Yumley Lawrence, and others who campaigned for JNB to be president of LIB today. Welcome, Rita. All right. All right, let's go. Before then,
My money, oh, I can say I should live for like 30 days, oh. I can lock me up, oh. I can't get out, oh. I can't get out, oh. International community comes over here, oh. Oh, Liberia, oh, Liberia. Oh, my people, now they got Liberia who want it, oh. Now they got Liberia who want it, oh. Now they got Liberia who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. I tried it, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. 500,000 US, oh. We tried it, oh.
let's get to the line. Have your say as quickly as we can, then we out. 0772 2399 33 0886 3044 97 0777 98 0375. Hello. Yeah, Lord. Oh, you're in Waterside. Yeah.
Yeah, we told those people from the beginning. And you know, our slogan was, we agree. We agree. Our slogan is down, we agree. Our destroy, we agree. So that we agree to Bakari following now. What's talking us now? We agree. Remember that slogan? And we're telling them in 2023, the two we agree. So that we agree, we're going back now. You see how like going down the unit, down the line, like somebody who already 99 years old. We are suffering this country. We are suffering we're facing the consequences.
You went off, Chief. You went off. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah,
hello?
My man, that women's line, yeah, 0777980375 for the women. Hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from a Propo Corner, down Coast Spoon Hill, White Town community. Mr. Andrew, thank you for this, your show this afternoon. And I want to give you that special accommodation for that. Mr. Andrew, but as I sat and listened to your radio and listened to that woman crying, I began to think, it means every one of us living in Monrovia today, we are vulnerable to anything because these guys from America will always come and visit us. Hey God, Joseph Numa Boakai, they told us that you have 42 years experience. You campaign on rescuing Liberia. Hey Joe, how are you feeling to see a Liberian lady losing 500,000 investment to demolition? What are you saying about this kind of a sorrow that you have brought? The country is drying down. This is not what you promised us. You promised us job. You promised us better life. But instead, Joe, you are destroying our country, and the country is crying and bleeding under you. You have to change your course and change your status quo and come up with new ideas. Other than that, I do remember you for the wrong thing. Andrew, thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our voice and contribution to national issues. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Anthony.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm happy. The thing what happened I did for yesterday. Sorry, I tell all the Liberian people when you listen to the report and listen to it. The insulting warrior forgive me. I'm sorry. I take it back. I'm happy.
All right. Let's hear you.
Okay, to my point. I'm sorry for that lady. After Lily was crying, my tears are coming down because it's painful. It's sorrowful. I mean, you're not getting ulcer. You're not getting ulcer. You're getting the say I will not come ulcer. I mean, close me up. I mean, lacking door. Now, not the government was looking for. I say the government was looking for. It's true. We're expecting Burger to move. We are in power. It can't do more than we are. Because we are the thing what we are doing. The United Party say we are not doing nothing. So they will vote we are on. So Burger can't do the test. Then to Burger can't is not doing nothing better equal to we are. You know, you say near we are told the one we are doing. You know, say Wafi. Wasting all in the community, they're not going to school. You're not paying road. We are pregnant, you putting a photo on it, putting it I said I ain't doing it well. So you go to Clan Foundation, Eva, Malasari, that's what Malasari will tell our say you will not listen to the men law breaker. They may break all the law in the country, ain't no law in the country now. We are just in the country now, we thinking how we live. Because now we're scared. Look at all I want to call there. They bought cat on you and P and K or 20 some more years. So we get now we steer the country not save now. We not go with save in the country because the person who put the country in here and not good question. And not for Liberia when we're talking they say SRC. So that it will go in by now. Thank you, Baba. Let God bless you.
All right, my baby. Okay. Hello. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening to the listeners following your broadcast. I'm Christian. Pray for enemy Byron and peace on the conversation this evening from the headquarters of the Secretary Bureau on the Buckleberg Avenue of Improved Community. I appreciate you. I listen to all of the reporting and things. And Mr. Andrew, it's just been clear. But like when people did not listen to us, what we told them. Mr. Parker is a decision-making person. They have not sat anywhere and put it in place. So that woman crying on the radio, it was what the people think for. Lose this country. If people are shame, Mr. Parker said it like if it was for him to dance with the devil, he was going to dance with the devil to become president. So after the devil, he done with the devil, he be president. What is it? The devil, nothing. The devil gave free. So it is this country that we see. If Mr. Parker and his lieutenant have demonstrated hit to this country, what more about people who serve one of them? There's the country we are seeing. No level of putting this country together. Everything is just on the script. Mr. Parker has not paid score to the former president. Mr. Parker just hit. But the former president comes to this country, it's an issue. When he travels, it's an issue. All the places he goes, he gets the same respect from Mr. Parker as the president of this country has demonstrated hit. So what do you expect? People on the street now cannot survive. Our shit is just all over, Mr. Andrew. People, the people, they're not providing jobs for people. They're where people selling to able to sustain themselves. They are attacked against it.
Okay, sir.
Somewhere evil to the within this country. What else? Anything like this one, like can I see anything?
All right, Chief.
There's the country that we are in right now. Oh, Mr. Parker.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah.
This is Edmonka, and I'm the visually impaired. Pushing for the return of President Weah for the 29.
You drive the first policy, Pucci. President Baga to the fire. Yeah, but I think this one is right. It's timely than the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the voice makes sense also. Yeah, sometimes it's good to evaluate.
And you know, I don't know what a briefing is. They are briefing Boakai. What a briefing that they get giving, because these kind of events are supposed to be part of the national security briefing, because it is a threat. It is a serious threat to our security, and it's also associated with economic threat, because people that are doing their businesses, you break the house down, you break the business place down. How are they going to be able to do business, to be able to survive, and to even put some money in the economy? Okay, so these are the things that are going to be coming to him. If he is a president that listens to his advisor, there's a need that just some stand so that they can ease on the tension in the country. There is a serious tension here, you know. When you wake up sometime in the night, you see me a little bit listening. In the day, you look around. That's a serious threat in our country, and we are not understanding ourselves. Hearing people cry here and there. Oh, they say they're coming out of our community. Oh, they say they are share leaflet coming to the other side. What's going on? I don't like to buy into that thing. Oh, we talk to them. We don't even know the people that who have been destroyed. We don't even know the people that they are chasing. Okay? So we are impacted with sympathy with them. We hope for the best. That lady that crying like that, you know, it's quite frustrating. And let me say also,
your community has to be on the ally, though.
Yeah, everybody looking around and waiting to see what. For now, we are not NTA. Maybe they're looking for my community because of my critical analysis, but they're not from my community. They are very, very tactical. You know, when my early justice said she was very, very careful with the choice of word. You know, the woman still got out for rethinking memory. You know, she spoke like a mother, former president, and a stakeholder in the country. The same thing that we have been saying, simply because she was saying that, but she carefully or use it so that she will not indulge herself. Okay, we have said this, that will all number. Hey, Papa, we are not talking about you, brother. We are not talking about president. We are talking about this country. Whole loyalty to. This is our place. When you take the presidency, you like the people. When you fail to do it, equals here to door you, Mr. President. When you win as president. When you do reconcile the country, you move forward with development. Stay, the old man refuse to listen. You see how the country is? The policy are divided, leaders are divided. How can we move for our country? See this place here, it's a crisis that we are in. It is not what that we are in. We hope, as she said, they will be able to see reason, and do something. Whether it will now, we are in year 3.
All right.
So that's it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carr. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hear you.
Thank you. We know what to say now. Look at one more. Nobody behind us in that hospital is spoken with the children. Why? They got to want to carry coffee and piano. I know what I like. What we eat here now today. That government said they ain't no about A. That you don't know about what the police with the police or that severe be the police. That severe be the say man. That they said they ain't no about A. Mama sorry. That is your year say that I coffee what we want for you to do. What about Baka? Yeah, the coffee way. He say sorry. That's what he say. They won't put our things that we inside. Woman, we were made a river, a great fire. They are the same all fast. Why? Why? People in the street, they go to the market, eat plastic, they will plastic. What do you want? Woman, you want it one year? When get one way, you want to open the plastic. You literally eat a horse. What do you wear? You let it plastic. The rabia, the any of the rabia will all now. Because we not play high, we not get each other. Say, I want you to be doing. So I will be any and I will your hand. Sorry. Would I be your hand? You will need a blow. Somebody will get all a blow. That's the same.
The poor coming in your community, oh, they coming to your land, oh.
Well, there you go.
The poor say you're squatting in a place there. Somebody coming take you.
Oh, we got it. Hello?
I said the poor coming to your land, so you must sit down there.
All right. When you come for it, let's come for it. The poor somebody breaking the outside. Go get now far away for reason for it. They will come here to sit down. Then they come. But we'll see how the reality. We'll stand at the booty. They will not want things. They do it there.
All right, my busy.
We wait for that, yeah? And we have in our bro. Hey, where will you feed out? Go feed out there. Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, Ben Auntie, my brother, how you doing?
Yeah. My Sisi, let's hear you.
Yes, I'll be back on the line. Thank you, Ben Auntie, very off. I want to say sorry. Our people believe. Nobody lost their life, but by losing their faith, they look like bereavement. No one will be called as a sedition, CDC. People were clapping. Then I will say, hey, whether they like it or not. People were clapping, yeah, this will be over there. They did that. They are very arrogant. They say we're arrogant. They can block the road. So they, machines go all over the place. You know, running behind their body. So they, how it means from community to community. As you just said, it's a local character. In the kind of part, the people just starting, who get no place. I just got all right. So when they come, when Bogasi will find out, it's more for Boga. If you so let's stop crying. The Boga, that's more people who that's the song as matter. That's time we see the song. We will eat their food for what we will not vote for them for Boga there for the 2-year experience. The time has come. Hey, we see all over the place. You see the population for development, but the for demolition. And for development, you see 4 people in the country, they stop for the bank for 1,000 years. Parent down. Today you went there. You might say the place for them. So you go and say, it's our 4 people place. You go ahead. We will not grab by the phone with the power.
My Sisi.
Yeah.
Some part of last year, you called on the show, the close of last year, and you said that the people mark your area there. They said they're coming to destroy or like something. You talk about something like that last year.
Yes, last year the poor came here. They said because my friends that we are there came here. We are time, and they came. They said, "Oh, we'll take the whole thing and go pay taxes." On pay the poor came and say. They can be breakfast down on the Negro. You understand? They said they will come. The one who said, how they will come in? They will always say, I can't say, we say, no, they go tomorrow.
They told you that they coming to build road, they coming to expand the road. Which one?
They say they will get party way or in the community. Because when truck coming, like fire service, police, you can't enter.
The high, the high can start. The high can start small. Yeah, one day, somebody will go there and say that, that whole place for him. You will see sheriff, you will see bulldozer behind them. That's how they doing it.
They say they big investor. The big investor. Can I come into Bali place? I want to let me tell you. They can't say about what all they between some of my dollar.
They coming clear from there also. Start finding place on my Sisi.
Oh, when they come, I want to see this. I think I'm going to get that. What are going? I got to pay me. I got to pay me, my child. I bought my I say, come on, I will go for a therapy. Now, yeah, let me apply for the tool. So, if I want to go, I will pay me and I'm working and I'm saying what I'm going to do. I will let me get how much you get that finish.
The way they not tell you now, according to you, you say the people say they coming to pay order. So one day you will see something American will share it and say that whole place there for him, and then the government will say they should start destroying you. Your wahala coming too. And you see the NTA people, NTA community, they crying you.
Yeah. They crying. The men, I know came here tell a few times last week, say in the quiet. But he lied there, like say, when we are the king, they stop there, they push me, they open it now, and they essay, everybody two room apartment, now what they want to do. They want to let Alex, so in a point, I want to shoot that, when they shoot the government, do what thing, then they will come, what they say, but I just they land it up, my daughter, I want to say, they in a point now. When they go bring the policy, they also move the community and tell us, oh, one day I will pay everything now, and they two this person that was there, then they go and up to the office, and they go to the person, and why is that to us? They need to tell it. But we have to go again, our own G, then when I move up from here, why was this? They have to do us for almost 2 weeks. They put me out for us to do that. That we still on here, they get to go from here, one guy, one G, that's the same, and they get and say, all the people. That was fucking immediate. They go through all that. Because immediate after they go through everything they put on when we are there. But the people the essay they will come here and be all over now. That was our message.
So you'll be on the line and you heard the morning how Israel described them. Iceland. They go around. When you get D, you get document for getting your leg gone.
Your leg gone. When you were 50 for all your children there, when you can't say for her. So I'm going to put you say the party. When you guys say, I'm going to this school here. But then I left for me. They say, go okay. Now what happened now? All the people that say, yeah, but you see the video talent. So what happened? What you believe in them as you? All the people coming that say they're laying. Yeah, but that's why they see school. In the C class, they say, oh, you can say, I'm going to the C class. They will let them go.
All right, man.
So thank you, Mata.
All right. Have a nice day. Hello. Hello. You are on the air, Chief. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you are on the air.
How you doing, Papa?
I'm doing good. Thank God Almighty. And you?
Papa, me contact
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm actually studying for PhD community.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The question I want to ask my sister are crying. What kind of reward she done in a sea or in a two reward? Who can go rescue her? Yeah, because she very crying that she drowning. So I don't know what kind of reward is that. Because at the end when we're talking the poor containing up, they say that rescue they were wanted. Even though it's very much sorrowful. People and sorrowful are very people. But it's just that one place for not all the way she says she drowning her off. But I really feeling for her. You know, it's the same. You know, it's I say, can you imagine to Satan? They have said when they broke down to Satan won't get and I said in the community here, they get this stuff. I said they broke the horse, only get this thing. They gotta go and start ordering the things for on the horse, on the thing and see. Before they were able to get few of the system, they get golf system here. Everybody can help us that stuff. So I very feel for the people. Thank you for having me.
All right, Beatrice. Have a nice day. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Okay. My name is Sam. Testimony charge. I do call from Jakarta. Thank you, Mr. Andrew, for your talking point. Actually, Mr. Andrew, at times some of us will wonder who really the rescue team came to rescue. I can be wondering whether the people really came to rescue the Liberians or they came to rescue themselves. On a serious note, the lady that you are playing her voice, everything that she said on the radio, it is factual. Mr. Andrew, come right here to say on the second church and see the number of development, that amount of development the lady put over there. The lady have a guest house.
Oh, you know her?
I know her very, very well. And in fact,
They really implore people to that place. You know,
okay, wait small. We'll give you time. There are people who listening, they don't know. They only hear her crying. That's 70 seconds. So you know how you know. Listen now. Wait now, Chief. Wait, I want you to describe the place. Some people who know, they will have an understanding. They will know why she crying the way she crying. Explain her business.
Okay, right to 72nd Junction, right? Directly opposite the SDA or the Wesleyan Church. You understand? There where la lady care her business area. There where she care her business area. And in fact, Mr. Anchu, it is having people that all of government that can maneuver in their own way to create job for ordinary citizens. That lady where she talking about, they get lots of Liberians that are employed within that area. They are working to carry their daily bread to their family. And what I feel.
That one center she has.
Mr. Andrew, let me tell you this. I know that lady had herself before she could open that place. That lady.
That one center she get. That one shop.
The second junction there. When she started to continue with people used to go to buy wholesale drink for her. That how she expanded the business. She opened her entertainment center, and later they had another fence right near the entertainment center that she was operating in. I think she like bought that place or leased the place. She developed the place so fine, and then people were working within that area. People from all around this area in the piece they are working to that area. The woman told the people that possessive people working over there. So if you go because of in the name of everyone that play damage that area, how you expect for the people there that are working over there to survive in this country? On the serious note, I don't know this government when they're ready to carry on things, they can have second thought. Look at the situation of the CDC head office where they have students, people that used to go to school there, turning up their internet. They wake up 3 months later when they bust that area. Look at the first day area what Liberian children are there, they are learning. They beyond the first day just for the Liberians to not benefit from
all right, Chief.
In this country. On a serious note, Mr. Andrew, we can
thank you.
really understand this government.
Yeah.
What the government is doing actually, it really beat down our imagination.
If the picture you painted, if that is the reality, then she had a very huge investment over there.
The woman for more than years.
Yeah. All right.
The woman started there from scratch until she reached to that level. She is not making all the story. Thank you ever so much for having me on the line. The new remains the same testimony charge, and I do call for check out that. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. If that is the picture, then she had a huge, very huge investment. I can see why she said 500,000 had Liberians employed working there. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Anchu.
Yes.
How are you? Like the brother saying to you that even as they talking about myself at King of Things, they call that yourself. When you see that place, how you looking now, I don't really understand why the people are now. I know they're not saying to who they breaking now in the country. Yeah. That woman had a lot of Liberians employed with her working to that place, earning their daily bread. Now, small investment that woman carry to that place. They call her help yourself. Well, opposite the 72nd junction, like, you know, really easy that kind of decision there. So we noticed, and since they didn't we noted they had not dropped letter to that woman place to say they play part of the pirate land. So they not really easy for her.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janje Tap of Guajo. Yeah, actually, this government, we are to be patient about what this government is in the interest of everybody. Well, you guys, when you're on the air, you can just focus on the government. I don't really know what's going on. 2008, when Jerry Widow was paying Ghana, people say, oh, Ghana ha. So when the government try to tell you development or see a strategic area that you will happy for in the interest of people, you got always beginning on an issue with this. Is that about Joseph Brother?
That area was buried, that people
I can't get out. I can't get out.
other
I
government
can't get out. International community can't come over here. La Biro, La Biro. Oh, my people, now they got La Biro who want it. Now they got La Biro who want it. Now they talk about La Biro who want it. Rescue team, you say you get to rescue us, I tried it, I tried it, I tried it, rescue team, you say you get to rescue us, I tried it, every people talk about property, Papa, just asking you, we tried it,
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, that girl crying. A great deep down in my soul.
Is this Elder Council?
Yes, sir. That girl crying deeply. She got people that surviving on her. She got people that be happy. So, let God get bless her. The people that can cancel, people need to go around her to cancel her because she's crying. So something happened to her.
Yeah, that thing it can cause people to commit suicide.
Yes.
Yeah, that's serious thing there.
Yeah. That person I'm talking about, Jerry Rowland. Jerry Rowland, I'm wicked like that. Even when you are doing a development, you are
not Unity Party man, he always calling.
Yes, you are not talking. They say they think also to be homeless. Then you laughing, The wickedness are in the country too much. When I was young, from Maryland, I went Ivory Coast. They put horses for that better. Can't see the people build the horses and they carry the polo, stay there. Go taboo today and see people horses. They put development against the out, they throw their citizen also, or they sell it to Lebanese people, they sell it to food people, just for them to get riches. The wickedness are in the country here. Then you're talking about the must say she's drowning. Yes, indeed, she's drowning. Now, I make sure your friend will cancel that there before she go for breaking up. Thank you.
All right, Elder Council. Hello. Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hello.
You are on the air, Chief.
Yes, I'm from Rwanda, Wama. I was not saying that, I'm from Rwanda, Wama, coming from Maryland.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you on the air, talk.
Okay, thank you. What guy and we will not be together. I usually always. Our concern is that we have to come back for a second time to lead us as Liberians. They are not compatible. And for one side, they will not be able to work together as panel. One of the reasons is that we are going to come back as president to lead Liberia again. So Boga is saying that no, I don't want we have to come back. So in that case, will they be friendly? It's impossible for them to work together. It will not be possible. So our role to play is never play our role that at the end of the day, CDC can be able to come back to power again, but they will not work together as first. Because the Unity Party is different from CDC. Thank you very much.
All right, you did well by spicing it up. I appreciate all of you people. Terrible situation. Too bad for the people of this country. They did not see this coming. And Unity Party people are showing no remorse whatsoever. Yeah, no remorse. They not regretting it. But that's what it is. They are very, very heartless.
I should live for like 30 days. I can't me up. I can't get out. I can't get out. I can't get out. International community can't come here. Oh, La Biro, La Biro. Oh, my people, now they got La Biro who want it. Now they got La Biro who want it. Now they talk about La Biro who want it. Rescue team, you say you get to rescue us, I tried it, I tried it, I tried it, rescue team, you say you get to rescue us, I tried it, every people talk about property, Papa, just asking you, We try the oh my money. My money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh. I just like me, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh. International community come to my ear, oh, La Bira, oh, La Bira. Oh, my people, now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. I tried it, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Every people talk about property, oh. We tried it, oh.
Representative Bernard Benson, widely known as DJ Blue, has weighed in on the demolition of properties across the city and other parts, saying that he will introduce a bill to amend Article 24 of the 2018 law, 2018 land rights law, citing ongoing demolition activities across the country. According to him, the amendment will set clear time limit for landowners to challenge encroachment and protect buyers who build without objection, to prevent sudden demolition that disrupt lives. Hear what he said. It must be the responsibility of landowners to regularly check their property and initiate early court action against perceived encroachments, not to wait after 40 to 50 years. Any land purchased with structures being constructed without objection or court action to cease or desist after 1 year must be deemed the property of the new buyer. People must stop waiting until 50 years to come and claim properties and abruptly stopping the lives of other Liberians by demolition. After consultation with my lawyers, expect a bill from me for the amendment of Article 24 of the Land Rights Law of 2018 that talks about extension of ownership by abandonment. Right. So, to put this in context for you, or to simplify it for you so that you know, one, he said, it must be the responsibility of landowners to regularly check their property. Regularly check. That's true. Too many people, their land, others took it. What is happening today is not new because they left it unchecked, or they left their lands unchecked. Satisfied that my land, anytime I get money, I will tend to it. 1 year pass, no check. 2 years pass, no check. 3 years pass, no check. Why those years are passing? At the same time, you're shifting things from one end to another in your house. You may think that you have the deed at a given place. When you think about it, you can't find a deed. Some people give up that way. They say, oh, Joe, I can't get it. I can't find a land deed, but that's my land. And people know. Somebody comes along, you can't prove anything. They claim that the land is for them. They go to court. They put 5,000 7,000 US down, the George. You know, eh? Aha. But when you can check on your property regularly, that's why the representative is saying to avoid such that we are going through in this country under the Unity Party-led government. Make sure you check your land on a regular basis. Check your land. You won't put anything there, sir, but be checking. Be checking. At the same time, make sure that your deed must be in a place that you can get it, your hands on it at any time. Properly, it is your responsibility, landowner, to regularly check your property. Then, initiate early court actions. That means you go to the court to make sure that it's your property. You just get the court informed to know what it is, even if need be, to get the court people to see the land, to see the document and every other thing. It will help to avoid somebody taking your property by force or by money. It will also help against encroachment. That's one of the things that Liberians are battling with, encroachment. Encroachment means you get your land here, then the other man land side A. So that man can you in there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But that man coming occasionally to look at it. So the man go, he stretch it small. He go, he add a piece. He start going in your own land, going in your land. That's what they call encroach. You go into another person's area. So when you can do regular check, when you can liaise with the court to make sure that everything intact, you see that people will not be encroaching on your land. People will not come and say, the land here was for my father, my grandfather built the place or secure the land. So that LIB. Yeah. And that's true. Everywhere go, you see people complaining, oh, the minute person encroaching our land, go to a temple of justice. You will hear too many cases there of encroachment. Too many cases, no D. Too many cases, say you had a D yet. They won't say, oh, how they call it mother D, eh? Say you get a mother D. Oh, the other person say, oh, I get mother D. Oh, but how you got the other one? Some kind of way. It's because people just sit down. People just abandoned. They abandon their land. They're just there. Too many people in this country, they claim people property, hard labor for their land. They claim it because they were just negligible. You have to come to your senses. At least with such happening, it's bad, but there is also the moral lesson to it. You not leave your property, leave your land. Suppose land, the bush, the grass grow until the grass reaching the sky. Suppose you even know where the land is again. Because they left it for 4 years, 5 years, it's just there. They can put nothing on it. And listen, this is one of the reasons people are using rather to take your land. Nothing on the land. You get a paper. Nothing on the land. That paper there is your legitimate key. But that paper can go missing anytime. That paper can destroy. When you have something there, you have your structure there going, nobody can claim it. Some people they just told people land because nothing. That thing they call cornerstone. You don't be relying on that thing as much as is the indicator. But listen, you don't want people to do that. There's even if they will pour 1 or 2 rooms there for somebody to be sleeping inside, they will do it. Nobody will venture. That's a strategy people using now. So nobody can go and say they land here for me. Yeah. People feel free to take people's land when nothing is there at all. You don't have a handprint, a fingerprint. You don't have it in the ground. The person feels that they can ravel you off that land, and they take it. That's how people talk people land. You go to a court, the man pass around. It tell the judge or XYZ, pam, already that mobile money. You ain't got to give physical money to a judge. You ain't got to give anything physical to the sheriff. You have for the sheriff mobile money number. Right. 1,000, 1,005, 2,000. That's it, thing. That cash violence you see working over there, cash violence. What kind of place every now and then the bulldozer will just move in a twinkling of an eye. The bulldozer gotta be careful. All right. So that's it. Let's have this break. Let's take this break, then we go home. Let's have this break. Us to do, but they can, we can. Let's go home with just under 15 minutes. Let's go home this way.
I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
George Weah returns to the presidency 2029. George Weah returns to the presidency 2029. The foundation was laid for return. No one, no institution, no government is absolute, meaning 100% perfect. If any person on earth, then and presently, who made no error, had everything 100%, want to see. If any institution, government, made 100% in everything its leadership want to see. It is not possible. Everyone will have his or her leadership. Things will go right. Some things will not go right. But there is always a room for improvement. Life is never without the room for improvement. And like Bob Marley said, he who lives to fight or runs lives to fight another day, because there must be existence and availability of time to fight another day. That expression, fight another day, means a comeback. Every person that ascended the presidency of this country made significant strides, had some ups and downs. Hence, they did what they needed to do. They serve their term, first and second. They left the presidency. Liberia don't have the history prior to former President George Weah conceding of a president serving one term. Liberia didn't have that history prior to former President Weah concession. Equally, Liberia is going to have in its history the return or the comeback to the presidency. Since Liberia, prior to former President Weah conceding, did not have in its history one term, former President George Weah did that graciously, democratically, constitutionally, which he could not have done, and nothing could have happened. Nobody could have held him responsible. Nobody would have taken to the street because nobody had the ability to take to the street. But he opted to remain on the democratic path of democracy.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. He arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy.
Nobody could have gotten to the street. Opposition could have talked, and nothing they would have done. Former President George Weah had all of the options available to him as a sitting president, which the whole world, down to the angels in heaven, know. You see, in other countries. But former President Weah said no. Democracy prevailed. Nobody, it was not Unity Party that took Weah off. Concession is not coercion. Concession is purely an individual decision. Concession is not coercion. Nothing extra Unity Party did. Look at the margin, infinitesimal margin. That alone is convincing. Like the guy said, even though unarguably he had the options as a sitting president, meaning all options are available to him, he could have used them, but he opted not to. It doesn't say that when he has conceded that he cannot return. Former President George Weah would not return to the presidency had he done nothing. Historically, he is the only person, the only president in Liberia's history whose development the people of this country can reference, talk about, see, feel, participate in. The country bears witness to everything practical structures of this man. Hence, he returns with a unique case. He led this country with a leadership that the country did not witness, did not experience. Judy Bryan, interim, consider that as interim, but it was about leadership. Nothing significant of a breakthrough. Interim can make a difference. Interim can show better leadership. Interim can initiate development. Then came former President Charles Taylor. We saw absolutely nothing infrastructurally. Nobody can argue that because not a single person can point to anything infrastructure of former President Charles Taylor, who is serving 50 years jail term in Great Britain for conviction, Sierra Leone. Convicted for crimes against humanity in Sierra Leone. Then came former President Ellie Johnson Sirleaf, Harvard trained, as she was referenced by BBC, Radio Deutsche Welle, and all those international networks and other people, favorite of the United States, pump in so much money. Nothing. The country did not know development politics. Then came former President George Weah with a new dynamics, introduced development politics in Liberia. This man today have structures than any of his predecessors. This man has structures comparatively, put all of the former presidents of Liberia on the table. Former President George Weah will be the only standout one, the only towering figure developmentally. Those who were elected, interim government is up, Charles Taylor will get no credit. Former President Sirleaf will get less of a credit. Former President George Weah will be the only one with an excellent ratio or grade. He led with a leadership that no one expected. They condemn, they criticize, they vilify, they underrated him as coming from the football field, knows nothing about politics, because their understanding of politics, talking and talking and talking, and that's what kept Liberia back. That today Liberia is 100, almost 200 years old, still one of the poorest countries in Africa, because they understood politics to mean when you can shout and scream and use all of the words, you go verbose. So they will say, this man comes on the football field, he does not know anything of politics. Just go back, take all of those statements. Look at Liberia before we are coming to the scene. Practically, you will see the people's definition of politics. And you will get to realize why this country has always been retrogressing. Because their definition of politics prior to we are coming into this, coming onto the scene. One who talks, one who rhetoricizes, one who can deliver long speech, one who will just talk from one end to another. And that's how it has been in Liberia, from the True Win Party all the way. Look at the True Win Party today. What they have is single dilapidated, filthy, up dirty, stink building, which has debased the face of the city. What were they doing all those years? They were just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. So those days, if you didn't wear coat suit, then you were not a politician. If you didn't use words, verbose, then you were not a politician. If you tread such path, then you were considered a politician, elite politician. So they were not concerned about structures. They were not concerned about structures. They were not concerned about taking people's lives from one level to another. They were concerned about showcasing how they are this, they are that. And from the True We Party time all the way to the other people that call themselves progressive, what the boast of today, look at the progressives. The progressive only boast of initiating multi-party democracy. But what good is multi-party democracy when it doesn't go with developmental politics? Come to think of it, nobody was thinking developmental politics, structural politics, tangible politics, institutional politics. Everybody were giving rhetorics. Today, listen to those so-called progressives. Hear them talk. Do they reference structures? Do they reference development politics? They take pride in saying they initiated multi-party democracy, that you can have this, you can have that, you can do this, this is happening today. But what is the difference? Every progressive change goes with practical transformation. Nobody did that. Nobody was thinking futuristic. Former President George Weah comes onto the stage. He introduced a new thinking called development politics, building dates, exposing the country to that, exposing the country to this and that. Everywhere, people's eyes started opening, started giving a real understanding of what life is. Start seeing structures. Leadership he can boast of his accomplishments.
On the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today.
Definitely. These were not thought of 20 years back, 25 years back. They were not thought of. They were not. The politicians prior to former President George Weah coming on the stage were not thinking futuristic. Futuristic thinking, it's when you think in the future and say, this one, we need to have this. The country will be expecting this. The population will increase from this to this by 20 this, 20 that. Let's have this, let's have that. What do you see today? That is why today the city is over congested. No alternatives. They are telling people to leave the streets. Because yesterday, prior to former President George Weah coming on the scene, they were thinking only for themselves. They were not thinking for the country. They were not futuristic. So they left everything as it was. So much so, they allow the white skin and other foreigners to name their own country. And they were standing there and happy. Ashma Street, Randa Street, Kerry Street. And they called themselves politicians. They were not far-sighted. They were thinking nothing. Development politics, but they call themselves politicians. Today, some of them stay around and they can only brag of how long they stay in politics. It is not how long you stay in a place. It is the impact that you make. The difference. Former President Weah did not stay 12 years in the presidency, but he accomplished so much within 4 years. 4 years because COVID-19 took 2 years of that 4. If you've been in Liberia, check it. Made significant practical difference. What he did, no president, the challenge is out. I am not talking to 1 or 2 persons in a gathering. I'm sitting on a radio station that reaches thousands, tens of thousands of millions of people at once. Everywhere around the world, in Liberia, everywhere, listening to me. Let somebody say Sam Andrews is lying. Prior to this man coming to the presidency, what the country was like. Nothing. It was empty. No exposure. Nothing. Give this man another term. You're going to see alternatives with the University of Liberia. Today, people bragging. I consider that a shame. You live with the politicians. Throughout, they did nothing. You stay saying today, the nation, only University of Liberia looks in Tenebrae. Look at Sierra Leone. Look at the number of universities Sierra Leone has. Go to Nigeria. One state has pretty close to 10, 15 universities and polytechnics and colleges. People should be ashamed. Stay University of Liberia, the state-run university. Because the politicians then, they were not Give George Weah a second term. If you don't see 2, 3 universities of Liberia, you don't see alternatives. That's why when you leave from here, you graduate from the University of Liberia, you go out, they tell you, no, you have to do it our way, because you have only one institution sitting down, or they call University of Liberia, did it. Throughout, your politicians prior to we are coming never ever thought to even think about it, to make it, oh, come on. The politicians, I'm telling you why this man will return. Why the people are ready? Because that man made his case. What the politicians who are saying this man not coming back, they should have done. That's why you need to look at these people. When they tell you Weah is not coming back to the presidency, look in their faces and tell them, what did you do for this country? They will never answer you. They will never, because they have nothing. It is a shame you live your life and you got nothing to show. Politicians are people who make difference in the lives of the citizens, the people. Go to Nigeria, go to Sierra Leone, go Raya, look at the countries around us that are bordering us. See politicians, see their handiwork. What they introduce, the history is there. University of Liberia, you look at it. Do you know how many years that university stayed there? Go in other countries. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 law schools. The citizens coming out, they have options. They decide which law school they prefer going to. There's no option yet. But these politicians, they sat down here all those years and did nothing. When the man was coming on the scene, God sent the man, just as he sent Moses to deliver, just as he sent Paul to deliver, and on we can go. They say, oh, what that man know? The man come from football field. Now, only football the man know. But prior to the man's coming, you people who were educated and stay educated, what did he? The man did not see institutions from y'all. He did not meet anything that you people did. Certainly not. Only rhetoric. Today, the country is still backward. Who took this country to a level that people can come into this country and appreciate it? They stay here for 12 years. The airport was in ruin. It was dirty. It was stained. Did not represent an airport. Who took it? Who gave it that identity of an airport? George Weah. Because of his exposure. The Englishman said travel to know the world, meaning to get exposed. People travel to see things, come and say, oh, we can take this one to our country. That's how other countries are developed. Presidents go, they see, they say, oh, wow, this one, we can take it to our country. These people, prior to former president, we are coming onto the scene. They were traveling from one country to another. They had all of the education politically. They were not playing football, but they went to the classroom and learned the politics. How did the politics help Liberia developmentally? Their politics did not help. Their politics kept Liberia in stagnation. Their politics kept Liberia retrogressing. Their politics kept Liberia at a standstill until this man came on the scene and started to introduce this, introduce that. Because they were all shamed. What they should have done, they did not do. The man started to do it, they gang up. All the people who are telling you that George Weah did nothing, don't bother with them. Don't get vexed. Just say, ask them, what have you done before? What did you do for this country before this man came? The people say, we have messed the country up. What did we inherit? What did he inherit to mess up? Mess country up means you inherited a unique country, balance everything there 100%, and you damage everything. That's the definition of damage. But we have met nothing. He inherited nothing. We've been in this country, we know what Ellen did. That is why we are in a good position to counter and say we are in good position, his supporters. Because we were here, we saw Ellen's regime. If we had just come into the country, did not see Ellen's regime, fine. But we saw Ellen's regime. Ellen's own parent, that was pumping money into her, millions of dollars. The United States of America got vexed and said widespread corruption, greedy people. We will never put our money in any rogue regime hand. They did not refer to former President Weah regime as rogue regime. It was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime. Your actor. The United States government referred to her regime as rogue regime. They messed the country up. Today, nothing. What did they do with the hydro money? That today, we stay battling between rain season and dry season. That money came in to build a new hydro. The politicians went and played on Ellen. They flirt with her. They mesmerize her. They cajole, they brainwash her. And then the day song that Mago thing over there. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration will have made a breakthrough. They had everything for a new hydro that today we will not be experiencing off and on current. These politicians, these Unity Party people, very many of them that in government today, in Boaka government, saying we did nothing, it's because they are ashamed, they are heartless, they are cowards, they are Satan incarnate. They stay where they saw it. Some of them, the house or houses that they have is because they stole greatly. Finance ministry, we know about finance ministry. Everybody was stealing, manipulating. We saw how finance ministry officials, unit party officials, were building houses for their girlfriends, were buying cars. We know that for a fact because we will stand and hear them talking. I mean, do that thing, let's collect that money. My girl said this, or I almost feeling with my girl her. We used to see her girlfriends used to come and terrorize. In less than no time, they settle. How can you be in a government, then a government official talking, I finish in 3 months' time, I can finish with that house? It was in Ellen's government. You challenge me. It was in Ellen's government. I'm telling you why these people, they did nothing for this country. They kept it back. Yet they say we did nothing. It was in Ellen's government that a government official is building house. The government official will come after 1 or 2 weeks to do the assessment, will look at the house and say, no, unlike this side, you break the whole side down. You break it down. Why? Because the money was there. They would just go and manipulate. The official go on the other side, they let it building the house. She said, no, unlike how you did it push. You break the whole side down. And you do it this way. They say, this is how I want it. Why? Because the money. Widespread corruption. To the extent that former President Sirleaf confessed, George Weah did not confess, former President Sirleaf confessed that corruption overwhelmed her government. On Inauguration Day, she said corruption will be enemy number 1. In the middle, she said it was systemic, meaning it was in the system, no way to take it out. Lastly, going out, what did she say? Vampire. Former President Weah did not. He tried the best he could to tackle corruption. And corruption is something that no government can tackle in this country. It would take the next war, the next Liberia, to put corruption under control because it's entrenched. Presidents will try. But mine take here, what I'm sharing with you. Wia returns to the presidency. Wia wasn't perfect, but Wia did the difference. The only person in Liberia's history that introduced developmental politics that people can say they can move to there. What President Bouakai did last week was the path of Wia's developmental politics, of independence, being on your own. Who stopped this giving millions of dollars to owners of building in this country? Who put a stop to it? It wasn't Charles Taylor. It wasn't Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. It was George Weah, former president of Liberia. That why would we be giving millions of dollars to house owner? We renovating, we pay them, we renovate. Let's take that money and start building our own. Who introduced such developmental politics, structural politics, institutional politics? It's not George Weah. Nokal, look at Nokal today. Ask how many dollars, millions that building owner took from the government. Today, Nokal is in its own building. Everybody know the structures. Look at NSA. Can tell you how many millions. Oh yeah, people say he messed the country up. How can a person mess country up? Then you see all of those structures. You see development. What an irony. You see all of those things. It is what Bouakai did last week that we are introduction. That what Bouakai trading on so and say, yes, it makes sense. The man who they say he did not have any leadership idea. Oh yeah, you don't need anything leadership. You only need wisdom. So you stick that in your head. You only need wisdom. You don't need any leadership. You don't need to go to any leadership school to know what to do developmentally. You only need wisdom and exposure. Everywhere you see great developments, it's not education. It's not leadership. It's exposure. It's wisdom. So when the man tells you he's not a politician, because you people can't reason. Wia returns to the presidency 2029, and you will see unprecedented developments, more than what he did. I see you. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. The news is on at 6. Join us for that, please. And then at 6:50, Isiaka Sharif and Josephine Pello Johnson are in with CDC Hour. And then at 8 o'clock, the doctor himself is in, the teacher of the land, the light of the land, the evangelist, Anthony at Law, A.B. William, with Face the Issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home on the show. We go home this way.
Sunday. What one must Joe Rastafari. It's a redemption day. What one must struggle me. Afghan revolution people. Afghan the blue revolution. Now ready? CDC are ready. Let's go. CDC come, CDC come, CDC build, CDC build, CDC red, CDC red. Take what just come in. Oh, yeah. We building a new home. Let's build. Oh, let's build. The men they fought the war, them not making it one way. Hey, let's build. Oh, let's build. We did it before, and we can do it again. Hey, let's build. Oh, let's build. The men they fought the war, them not making it one way. Hey, let's build. Oh, let's build. We did it before, and we can do it again. Now watch this. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. We will do it again. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. See
ground, a foundation strong where love will stand tall. Every break can be a piece of our hearts, a place we call our own. No matter where the road we go, the walls are rising, the rules are taking shape, building a new home with love from the start. Through laughter and tears, through the struggle we face, we'll build it strong, fill this room with joy and grace. Let's build.
The men they fuck evil, them have big girl,
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
More fire, more heat. Kings 88.5 FM.
Playing the hot jam.